But I do have a gaming talk thing before I go, guys, because this kind of came out of nowhere. For years, we speculated on the idea that there might be Elder Scrolls remasters coming. It was just something that was kind of, does it exist? Does it not? And then there's always like screenshot leaks and stuff, and they get debunked, and it was never true. Like Maddie Plays would like debunk it, and I love Maddie Plays, but he always ruins my day when he tells me that all this Elder Scrolls 6 stuff is fake. But with this one, it was like, this one actually seemed legitimate, and then like literally 2 days later, boom, Bethesda announces Elder Scrolls Oblivion, that's part 4, remastered, and by the way, you can buy it right now. Todd Howard always said he kind of wanted to do something like that. He wanted to have like a shadow, not really a shadow drop, but just be like, hey, we're making this announcement, and by the way, you can buy it right now. So they finally did it. Free on Game Pass. I have Game Pass, so download it, and I played the first couple of hours, I think. And look, it's been 20 years, I think, since I played Oblivion. So all I can say is, like, it looks like a brand new game. It's still got kind of that jank. I need some of that Bethesda jank that we always have. But calling this a remaster, I think, is kind of a bad word, because this feels like a full-on remake. It's not quite to like the Resident Evil remakes level of a remake, but it feels like a brand new game. It doesn't just feel like a fresh coat of paint like the word remaster usually means. So this is one of those I've had a lot of people already asking me, well, do you think it's worth the money? As I said last week with the Resident Evil thing, it's like, I'm not paying full price. I feel like with Elder Scrolls, you can get enough out of the game that's going to kind of meet that value, that price point they're asking. So this is $50 if you don't have Game Pass. To me, I'm like, hey, why don't you just subscribe to Game Pass if you got it, or if you got an Xbox, and just go ahead and try it that way. But it's really, really cool to play this again. I feel like the combat's been improved. You can sprint now. The menus have definitely been improved. The hotkeys, if you're playing it on the console, is way better this way around. So I think it's an incredible improvement, and I'm looking forward to dipping into this one again, because I went really all in on Skyrim to the point where I barely remember the storyline from Oblivion. That was an Xbox 360 launch game, and I'm thinking back to it. I'm like, I remember like the Emperor dying. Outside of that, it's like, I don't remember a ton about the storyline except just always jumping into hell. I got chased by this like hell unicorn one time for like miles, and my only escape was to jump into an Oblivion gate. So I have some memories of this game, but it's feeling like a fresh, brand new game for me to play this time. And they've actually added dialogue too. They said that the disc was not formatted correctly to put as much dialogue on it as they needed back then. So they've added dialogue to it to give you more dialogue options, and that's really, really cool. So this is going to be one that I'm going to enjoy playing again. I want to try to finish these Resident Evil remakes before I get too deep into it. But yeah, I would be foolish to say I'm not going to play this again. But hey, props to Bethesda. It seems like everybody gives them crap for everything. Look, I was disappointed with Starfield and things like that. I don't want anything delaying Elder Scrolls 6 any more than we've already had. But I'm like, hey, if you guys want to do this to Fallout 3, I wouldn't mind. Because this feels like a remake or remastered. That feels like they really put a lot of care and time into it. And they didn't, like I said, just put a fresh coat of paint, some new texture packs on it or something you could do with a mod. This feels like a brand new game. Even if it does have some of those gameplay elements from 20 years ago that were like, games don't really do this kind of stuff anymore. But that charm is still there. If you resist arrest and pay with your blood, those things are still there. So if you're looking for those things, you'll get them. And this is what you get every time a Bethesda game comes out. Everybody will just post their YouTube videos about, look at this bug that made my horse fly in the sky. Yeah, games this big, guys. There's going to be bugs once in a while. But I've never really cared too much about that. I'll be interested to see if they enable mods on this, since it seems like it's going to be a digital-only release. Bethesda's been really good about embracing the modders community, so hopefully they'll do that with this, even if it's just to put a different UI on it if you want, or add different things like different music. Like I remember I have a mod on my Skyrim that made it where I could have the music from Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. So it's the point where that music's so great, it's so goated, I can't even tell you which one's from which. But a lot of nostalgia when you heard that music first pick up at the beginning of the remastered screen. So definitely worth your time. And like I said, guys, I still think Game Pass is incredible value if you have an Xbox. So I know a lot of people complain about it, but to me, it's like, look, every week there's like a new game coming out. My wife just finished South of Midnight, and we're going to play Elder Scrolls now, and we're still playing Avowed. So Game Pass is still a great value for us for $10 a month. And games like this are the reason why.